We're here to help you in your guide to the Jazzmaster, how to pick the right one for you.
Let's talk about it.
Hey, it's me, Baxter.
And it's me, Sean.
Thanks for joining us once again. We're going to talk about Jazzmasters and the journey to find the perfect offset for you. There are so many of them, but first, don't forget to click like and subscribe.
Hit the bell. Road to 100,000.
Subscribe that bell, and comment on some of the videos, and you're entered automatically there. Anyway, Jazzmasters. You're here for Jazzmasters. Let's get right into it. It's one of my favorite guitars.
It's pretty good. I like a Jazzmaster.
Are you a Jazzmaster lover?
I'm a Jazzmaster lover. If I had to pick between Jazzmaster and Jaguar, I think I'm going to go Jazz. Not all the time.
It's tricky because I used to be that way, but I'm almost a Jaguar guy now.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for our companion video on how to pick the right Jaguar. That's coming later because Jazzmasters are more popular, so we have to release this one first.
That's right.
It's an algorithm thing, I think.
Pick boys.
So Fender is the Jazzmaster king, obviously. There's lots of other ones out there. We'll talk about that too. But we want to sort of break down the options, the choices, the zings, the zangs, the yings, the yangs, which way you could go.
Yeah.
And and how much money you want to spend, where you're going to spend it, what you're getting for it, what you're not getting for it.
Well, that's what's cool right now, right? Is we have a lot of different options that kind of fit into any budget, which is really cool. I think it's probably one of the first times in history over the last, 70 years where you could get multiple variations of the guitar that is great, especially a Jazzmaster, which I think is cool.
So what do you think? Should we start with the I think we should maybe start with the Squires.
Let's start with the Squires.
I
love the Squires.
Let's start with the affordable Jazzmasters here. So I got Fender's website page pulled up here, and this has all of the Jazzmasters and Squires sort of going from low to high.
I like it.
And so you can start down with the mini Jazzmaster. We're going to kind of probably skip that for the most part.
Whoa, don't discount it.
Hold your horses. No, so the mini guy over here, now that's going to be for your starter, your beginner guitar player.
Yes.
Obviously. That's cool. It's going to have less features. It doesn't have the Jazzmaster pickups in it.
Yeah.
It's just if you want a little offset, but let's jump into the Affinity series.
That's right. Straight into the Affinity.
$279 right now. And again, I'm gonna zoom in. This one's sold out apparently in that beautiful color. It doesn't have some of the things you might want with the Jazzmaster, but it's got the basic look.
It does. No rhythm circuit to start off with. We'll go ahead and cut that, right? And then the bridge is different as well.
Yes.
That's right. We've got more of like a Strat style trim, which is fine. It's okay. It's a good
might be better in some
I was gonna say
ways, but
depends on what you like.
But I want a Jazzmaster that makes funny vibration noises. Yes. So let's jump into one of my favorites here of the entire category.
Das Classic Vibe.
Das Classic Vibe.
I jumped the gun on you. I was like, ooh, I just got so excited.
You had German on me. I liked it. This is like a 60s style Jazzmaster. I kind of think Fender nailed it with this one.
I think so too. The Classic Vibe series, I feel like, is renowned, obviously, for many great reasons, but the Jazzmasters particularly are great. I love the way the neck feels, and the pickups aren't bad either. I would swap them, but they're not bad.
I like that you have the rhythm circuit on this one too.
That's right.
Yeah, the pickups, again, that's the weakest point of this guitar, but it's a great platform. It feels like it's nitro. It's not, but there's something weird about it. This one feels really good.
It's got that sticky factor in a good way.
I love it. Now this might be Sean's bad boy. Does this even count as a Jazzmaster?
I mean, it's an option, right? Now, if you want a 12-string, just to start there, the Squire stuff is a great place to get one affordably, and you don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars. For $450, you can get a 12-string electric, which is cool.
It is cool. I think that's the way. I've sold a few of those too to some good friends. There we go.
That's the best color.
Isn't that a great color?
Yeah.
We're going to jump ship now. Contemporary Active Jazzmaster HH. This is for the Jazzmaster lover who just likes the shape of it, because this has nothing to do with the Jazzmaster.
Exactly. Well, it's kind of like the 12-string thing. It's more so just the shape,
And the shape is great. We all love
shape is great.
The indie musicians of yesteryear, like the 90s, sort of made this the thing. Don't get me wrong, I know Tom Verlaine from television played one too.
Listen
about that. I get it. But I'm going Sonic Youth style right now. They're from the 80s. I'm like, oh, shush.
What about Waylon Jennings?
God, so weird.
And Willie Nelson. They all love the offset.
What do you think about old Johnny Cash's guitar player? No, Johnny Cash's guitar player. Played a Jazzmaster. Most of the stuff you hear on like the down there, all that stuff, it's jazz. It's not a telly. Everybody's like, oh, it's all jazz. It's all telly. It's not. Now, these are cool. We've had some of these, the contemporary. Yep. You're in that $25.99 right now.
What I love about the contemporaries is the roasted neck. That's the one thing to know with these. They're really good. I love
this neck back here
neck.
is roasted. You can't see it all the time.
Hot. Yeah,
it's hot.
It feels great.
Jumping in the 40th anniversary series. Now, those are the ones that were sort of overpriced. These are the ones that had a lot of controversy, I think, last year, because they released them, and then they dumped them because no one was really buying them at first, because they were really expensive. I think they were more than this.
Yeah, but I mean, they're good.
They're really good, but
I thought they were good.
I think when they released them originally, they were like $100 more.
Just a little tricky.
Maybe $5.99. I think it was $5.99.
Well, what's especially tricky with that, too, is that is near about like the guitar we're about to talk about. The Jazzmaster, right?
Which is
amazing.
Yes. Let's zoom in on that thing a little bit.
It is also $4.99, but it's fantastic. The neck feels good on it. It's nice and satin finished all over too.
That one looks a lot like my Wildwood thin skin that I have.
It does.
It does. Which is, we'll talk about that when we jump over.
Over your shoulder. It's there. You go.
I see it. I see it on the screen behind me now.
It's amazing. I mean, it really does look just like that guitar, and I mean, quality-wise, it's a killer guitar.
Jazzmaster, if you don't know who that is, Dinosaur Jr., some of the best guitars Fender makes are these, from the Player series to the Squire versions. We have multiple ones hanging through the shop because we love them. Yeah. We keep them too. We think they're great. Yeah. But so far, I'm going to go classic vibe.
I'm going to go Jazzmaster.
Cool.
That's just my take. I was going to say, if we had to boil them down, that's probably where we're at. Cool.
Okay, we're going to jump ship, and we're going into the Jazzmaster world of Fender.
No.
Not Squire anymore. We've entered the world, just sort of briefly scanning their page. You have quite a few more selections here. We'll go through a bunch of them momentarily. Bear with me. You ready?
Offset Central.
I know it is Offset Central.
We're going to talk about my very first Fender guitar ever. The original Player Jazzmaster.
Well, this is the old picture on their website.
I know. I had the black on black one.
But this
I'm serious.
This is where, okay. Yes, that they're still selling the Players, I guess.
I guess so. I spent $8.99 on mine at a Sam Ash.
God dang, really?
Times they are a change.
And then you sold it to us.
I did. I had to pay.
I tried not to get
No, it was sad. I wish I would have held on to that. But what I disliked about that guitar was the pickups, humbuckers. Come on, I wanted the big P90s. I wanted the soap bars.
Yeah, so the Player Jazzmaster here is really not a Jazzmaster.
No.
That's Player 1. Yeah. So Player 2, which just came out, that's the bee's knees of guitars right now. That is much more in the world of a Jazzmaster. You've got the classic colors with a few new ones bopped in there. I'm a big fan of some of these. We're not going to click them all. We're just going to stick with Sunburst because I don't want to go to any weird pages and can't get back. It is missing something right where my little pointer's going.
The rhythm circuit.
That's the only thing it's missing. But that's the way I think they could bring it into this price point of $829.99.
But the pros with this, the pluses, all right, is vintage tuners, dope, legit bridge, P90s, or at least the holes
they're
where
not P90s, they're soap bars.
Soap bars that you could swap with whatever you'd like. That's right, big fat soap bars, which is nice. That to me is a total win, and it looks great.
And the main thing too that they brought back is rosewood fretboard.
Yes.
So the Player 1, as you can tell, even when we go back and forth between these two pictures, I mean, there's your Pal Faro, here's your rosewood.
I like that.
And it's dramatic in person. The one thing I wish that these guitars did have is a gig bag.
Yeah.
They don't come with that.
It's okay.
Which I think, it's okay.
It's sad, but it's okay.
Let's jump up a little bit. Ventera, I'm sorry, this is Ventera 1. Jeez.
That's wild, right?
60 Jazzmaster. They're still moving some of these guys.
That's cool. Olympic white?
That might not be a bad...
That doesn't look bad.
Yeah, because we'll jump into Venteras a little bit later. Let me do a little scan down here. Hold up. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're much more expensive. So the Ventera, I mean, if any shops have Venteras right now, you can find them. I mean, like, they're good guitars. They're good guitars, and they are definitely discounting them at $959.99. These do have all the fun features that you're looking for is in rhythm circuits.
That's right. Nice switching options.
Now, I believe that is Pal Faro as well.
What I'll tell you I was impressed with is I have a Ventera P-Bass that I realized all of the electronics in it are actually really good. They use CTS pots, all nice wire and stuff like that. I was like, wow. So if you get one of these, know that a lot of that stuff's already there for you. It's a nice upgrade that they do. It's not the alpha pots and stuff, which is cool.
Jumping in, though, Ventera 2, That's cool. You knew that. Ventera 2, the 50s. Now this is 1250 for these guitars. These just kind of came out. They came out last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Was it last year?
Something like that, right?
And like the launch was sort of wonky at first when it came out, and then they've refreshed everything, and it's been amazing. These have sold really well. That's a good bang for the buck. It's got all the goodies in it. It's got some cool colors. Desert Sand is one of my sort of personal weird favorites. Jumping over the gold foil Jazzmaster, $13.99. That again is cool, but it's not a Jazzmaster.
Doesn't really count
in the same way.
It does, but it doesn't.
I guess it is, but the pickup wise, it's just a whole different monster.
That's a whole different guitar.
And these gold foils in particular, if you're looking for vintage sort of bluesy sounding pickups, these ain't them.
Yeah, no.
These are hot.
Yeah, they're ripping.
They're fire pickups.
The American Performer Jazzmaster, though.
Now that's a guitar that no one's really talking about anymore.
Yeah, I always liked the American Performers, though. I thought it was a good option. Now clearly, you're not getting the Jazzmaster bridge and stuff like that, which is a negative in some viewpoints. But if you were somebody who doesn't like that, that's a really good option.
And then, I mean, they just haven't pushed. I think that's probably a line that's getting ready to get discontinued.
Yeah. Or
like a relaunch or something. It just hasn't been a thing in their SKU. We jump into Troy's guitar, $1649. I call it like first name basis, like we're pal. I guess we are kind of buddies. I'm like, Troy's.
It's cool to see him actually playing that guitar on stage. Him and Dean both play one of those. Troy
Van Leeuwen is from the Queens of the Stone Age, if you didn't know that. He has fantastically helped create this cool, it's a great Jazzmaster. It's got some mods to it that are nice as well. Like you've got a different type of circuit switching up here. You have the block inlays, and then you've got two funky colors.
And a matching head cap.
A matching head cap, you're right. Because look, these other ones are down here. Here's the other color. I know. It's crazy with the black block inlays too, which is which is neat. I don't know if I like the other one better though.
I like the other one more.
I might be. We're big fans of Troy, so that's. I mean, obviously, and that's going to be if you want a classic Jazzmaster with some slight tweaks to it and a great built platform, that's probably one of your best choices.
And with a killer guitar player's name on it, pretty sick.
I guess he's pretty good.
He's kind of great.
Now we jump into Jim Root's Jazzmaster. This is that's going to be much more of a heavy style guitar.
Yeah, it's the body shape, really. By body shape alone. The block inlays are cool.
Two zebra style humbuckers. It's a hot it's not active. It's just hot, loud, rocking guitar sounding. It's cool though. It's cool, and that'd be good to get a signature on there.
That's cool.
American Pro 2 left-handed. We're gonna skip that one. Nobody talks about left-handed people.
Blah, blah.
American Pro 2, $18.99 here.
Here we are, baby.
Now this is sort of where you're starting to reach the creme de la cremes of guitars here.
I'm gonna say it. I love the American Pro 2 Jazzmaster, and we'll get to the Ultra one here in a moment, but both of those models I love. I think they're great.
And that's got your classic. It's got the newly designed pickups for it. It's got, it's got a great, easy to play neck.
Yep.
It's super smooth. It's sort of more of a satin-based neck on the back.
For the V-Mod 2 pickups, I'm not insanely in love with, but they do sound good, and I think the circuit they added to it does add a nice feature. That's just my take. That's what I would do. They're not
a highly colored pickup.
No.
No, they do the job, which is nice. Sometimes you just want the guitar to do the job, but it's really fun to play. It's a great guitar.
Yep.
Very different than Jim Root's Jazzmaster right next door again. We like some of these like John 5 Jim Root type styles. It's a heavy metal guitar. It's cool. It just look at that. It turns on. You can switch things, and you got a volume.
That's it. Slipknot, dude.
I mean, who doesn't love Slipknot?
You listen to Slipknot every day. He's got his kids in the car, and he's like,
wearing the mask.
He's wearing the mask.
I mean, that's for other stuff. That's when the kids are in bed.
I got the mask at home, man.
Ball gag.
The American Ultra Jazzmaster. Get off the ball gag.
Filthy.
Taylor said not to talk about that anymore. She's running for office soon.
Show me your dreads, Baxter.
She is the worst time.
You want to go play hacky sack next to the dumpster?
God, I love the dumpster. I've ruined her. The American Ultra has been the sort of flagship of Fender for a while. We'll get into the guy that costs more in a second. It's right next door. But the Ultra, that sort of got all of your most modern features on a guitar possible. You zoom in, you're going to have all your basic rhythm circuits, all your fun things, but everything's upgraded to the hilt. You notice there's a price drop on that a little bit.
Strange.
That's all we can say right there. Stay tuned.
Well, and back to the Ultra one too, just like the American Pro 2. The Ultra one was amazing. It was sick. I enjoyed it. We got a couple in whenever they did the launch, and I was like, wow.
Or even like the Ultra version of the 1954 Strat was really cool. It was. It was a cool spin on it. I love when you get limited edition pieces that are not just limited edition, they're good.
Yes.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's just, this is limited just to sell a guitar.
Yeah, look, it's weird. It's funky. No, it's like, oh, wow, that's good.
Well, let's jump into this bad boy. American Vintage 2. This is on the heels of the American Vintage and the American Original. And so we have, this is a 66 style with the block inlays, which I don't like as much as Dots, but this guitar is awesome.
It's okay. They're still good, I enjoy them. I think Derek was very much in love with the blue, and he thought that one was super sick.
$2,600. This is your most expensive USA-built production Jazzmaster right now. It's really good. It's nitro. It's built just like they built in '66. And if you haven't been to the factory in Fender and you live anywhere near there or don't, try to make a trip. It's worth seeing. They build this stuff by hand still. Yes, there's machines involved, but it's so much more by hand than you would think. It's shocking.
That's right.
The neck carving in particular.
It's lovely.
And the guys in the spray room, we could get sort of almost in the spray room, but then they had to stop us.
They said,
so we don't die.
You don't want to breathe all this in. And we said, yeah, we do.
I don't mind. I breathed a lot of other stuff in for free.
Yeah.
So let's it's a great guitar. The pickups are awesome. Again, the original batch of this had some issues too, where the first runs were they had some issues with, I think, neck placement a little bit. The finish wasn't what I liked. Yep. That was the first 6 months of release. This has been out for a while now. That's what I was thinking. American Vintage 1. That's what I was thinking this was when I was talking earlier, I think.
Yeah. The AVRI.
2. Fender's a big fan of 2s.
Us?
2s. So that's all the Fenders in a nutshell. That's pretty much it, production-wise.
Left out one.
What did I leave out?
The Acoustasonic.
Oh my gosh. It's funny that it's not on the page, actually.
That is sort of funny. Derek, thanks for being there. What's the girl's name in Howard Stern again?
Do you want the real tone?
No, so the Acoustasonic Jazzmaster was their biggest launch. We got in some trouble when we did a video on that years back. I remember getting a call from Fender. It was like, hey, why'd you do this video? We didn't talk bad about it. We just talked about them. Anyway, there was a lot of Jazzmaster push. I mean, a lot of Acoustasonic pushes at that point. It was a little bit infuriating for all of us in the real world. Like, stop it. It was on every channel. But no, there's the Jazzmaster one. There's some cool ones coming out I can't talk about. That's in that universe maybe. But that's just in the production line. And he is right. I left that one out. Gosh.
It's okay, though. They're cool. Give them a shot. It's not really a Jazzmaster, though. Like in the way that we were talking with the 12 strings and stuff. It's something a little...
It's different. It's shaped like a Jazzmaster.
It's side of center.
And there's multiple versions of it now. But there's the Fender Custom Shop. If you really want to get in there, get the vintage pieces, that's the one you can jump into and really dig deep into. You can get vintage spec, modern spec, in between spec, customize it however you want. It gets expensive though. It can start like as low as in the 4s, but all the way to the 12s, 15s.
I mean, what's really cool is, like we said starting off, all these models filter to a need, right? And they all do a really good job of showcasing the offsets. The custom shop ones are great. I feel like comparing it with vintage pieces, all of these models do a good job of paying homage to the original in a really good way.
And if you want vintage ones, like, our picks of the Squire or the Classic Vibe probably, or the Jazzmaster. If you want vintage, you gotta go with the AVI 2.
If you want something a little more modern, American Pro 2 or Ultra 2.
I think the American Pro 2 is amazing.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's that's a great option there.
Yes.
And let us know your thoughts too. There's a lot of great sort of in between there, but that's sort of a preview and a basic template for what's out there.
Here's what I'm going to post, everybody. Go into our comments section and let us know what soap bars that you would put into those slots. Or P90s or humbuckers. What would you prefer in a Jazzmaster, I guess, more so is what I'm asking. And aside from that, let Derek know happy birthday. His birthday was this past weekend. Okay. I'm not sure when this video will come out.
I don't know how old he is now. I think he's still in his 30s. We'll find out. We'll find out later. He's looking ripped lately. I mean, I wouldn't say ribbed.
Sick.
It's looking better, more spelt. Anyway,
Spelt.
spelt's a good word. Thanks for joining us again. Click like, subscribe.
Hit the bell.
Peace be with you. We'll see you soon.